All right. So sitting any way that is comfortable for you guys for us to go through some of our breathing. Remember, you can always sit on something higher if you're tight. So blocks, pillows, roll up your mat, anything that will make you a little bit more comfortable, even on a chair. Okay. Then I have bowls. I mean, you can have whichever bowl is suitable for you. That's good. I'll probably be using this one today, but if you have anything, that's good. Yeah. And then for when we lay down, if you need to support your head, make sure you have a pillow, rolled up towel, anything that supports the head a little higher for a tight neck. Yeah. Okay, so let's do about 5 to 6 breaths, maybe 5 breaths with the leg crossed, whichever way you have. Once we've done with those, I'm just gonna ask you to go ahead and switch the legs. Okay, that's all. Just so we know we do it, we even it out. All right, so rock the pelvis forward and back a little bit. Remove flesh if you need to. Find the tips of your sit bones. Then lengthen the spine, and then try to shift your spine either forward or back to have the bottom of the ribs aligned with the hip bone. So this line here. Then just relax the arms. Breathe in and out. Just give me 1 or 2 breaths to get the breath going. So try to fill the whole torso with your breath. Okay. And let's start doing our breath. So if we can send the breath to the back side of the ribs, on the breath out, let's pull the pelvic floor, pubic bone to tailbone, sit bones together, lift, feel the engagement on the lower abdominals. So pubic bone and belly button will sink, and then you're gonna lift, hugging the ribs. Breathing in, back inside of the rib cage. Breathe out. Can you mute yourself, please? To mute. So if you're done with about 5 breaths, we can go ahead and switch the crossing of the leg and continue for another 5 and try to get deeper and try to get more engagement through the torso. So as you breathe in, we're trying to get to the back side and then front of the ribs, the imagery of that umbrella. On the breath out, you're trying to engage the pelvic floor, pubic bone to tailbone, sit bones together. You're lifting it. You're going to feel the engagement on the pubic bone and belly button sink. Lift and then hug the hip bones and the ribs to the midline. It's all gentle, so don't stress the body. Relax the shoulders, relax the neck. Try to keep growing taller as you breathe in, finding length on the spine, the neck, all the way to the crown of the head. Good. So about 5-ish. Let's add the arms, breathing in, arms to ceiling. Breathing out, down. And as we move up and down, just go as far as it's comfortable for you without popping the chest and the ribs or rounding the back. So the arms slightly in front of you is fine. To the further back it goes, you need a little bit more flexibility. So we still haven't warmed up. Just see what's comfortable for you. And as you open up the ribs, try to breathe to it. As the arm goes up, we're trying to open. As you breathe out, engage the core, press and grow taller. Last one. Good. Let's take one arm up. Let's go with the right arm up. Breathe in, lengthen that spine up, and we're going to go to the side. On the breath out, shift the rib cage, come to the side, hold. Keep the side of the arm down, so right side down. Let's breathe to the ribs. This arm can support you. Breathe in, open the rib, lift the arm, grow taller. Breathe out. Sit down on the sit bone, maybe a little bit further to the side. So give me 2 more breaths, opening and lengthening. Breathe out. Must anchor the sit bone of the opposite side, elbow nice and reaching. Last one, go as far as you can. Breathe in, come back, roll the shoulders for 1 breath, 2 breaths, 3 breaths, and then the other arm goes up. We lengthen from the sit bone all the way to the tips of your finger. Lock your elbow. Breathe out, shift. Try not to shorten this too much. Breathe in to open the ribs and lengthen this whole side. So the shoulders, let's focus on that. We're not lifting the shoulders to make it longer. We're opening up and we're lifting from the sit bone and the outer arm as you breathe in. On the breath out, we try to go a little further, keeping the sit bone nice and anchored. Lengthen on that breath in. Outer arm, not shoulder. Do your last breath, reach that arm, sit on that opposite sit bone, and then when you're ready to breathe in, bring it all back, and let's roll the shoulders for 3, 2, and 1. And let's rotate the spine a little bit. So we're gonna go already with the hand on the outside of the knee. I like palm out. You can do palm in if you want, just to open up the shoulder. This hand is gonna go back, and try to feel that your sit bones are even. Breathe in, lengthen the spine. And find that both sides of the ribs are opening. Breathe out, press into this knee, rotate. Look at my back shoulder is opening up as I rotate. I'm not pushing it down. So press into the ground. Feel free to bend the elbow if you need to. Breathe in. Use your hands to press and lift. Breathe out. So don't overdo it with the neck. Keep the neck nice and comfortable. 2 more breaths to lengthen. In a gentle twist, focus on that upper back. And then on your next breath in, just release forward. Good. And if you need to roll the shoulders a little bit, do. And we're going to go to the other side. So hand comes out. Sorry, let's change the crossing of the leg. And hand is going to go to the outside. Hand goes back. Breathe in. Find sit bones. Press and lengthen spine. Now, when you breathe in, find that both sides of the ribs are really expanding. That's going to adjust you a little bit. On the breath out, open up that back shoulder, press into the front arm and rotate. Try not to force the rotation from the neck. Rotate from the base of the spine, through the waist, through the upper back, chest, and shoulders. Think of your waist rotating you. Breathe in to lengthen. We breathe out to rotate. And then when you're ready, on your next breath in, you can come back. If you feel like you need to go one more, go for it. Otherwise, we're here. And let's roll the shoulders for those 2 times. Okay? Nice and subtle. It's always nice to move the spine first. All right, so let's take this ball and let's do a few roll downs. We've done this before. We're just gonna do a few and then we're gonna lay down on the ground and continue with our core work. So my knees are bent, feet on the ground, parallel, not too close to you. You want it a little far away just to get some movement. So get that ball really close to you. If you can actually sit on it a little bit, remember it's half empty, right? Not half, about a third empty. We're gonna breathe into lengthen, hands on the thigh. Roll the shoulders back so you're nice and wide. Breathe out. What I want you to do is when you activate your core, I want your belly button to push your low back into the ball to round the pelvis and the low back. So I'm trying not to move my shoulder and back. I'm trying to push the ball with my abdominals that are pushing my low back into it. And then I'm gonna come off away from it and lengthen the spine again, okay? Hands are here to get us started. So breathe in, lengthen. Breathe out, pull the pelvic floor, sink the pubic bone and belly button, and press your abdominals into your low back, tilting the pelvis to allow your sacrum and your low back to push that ball away. And then lift from the crown of the head back up. And again, breathe out, round, push, breathe in, up. Good. And then if you want to start going even further back, then get that ball a little bit further away from you. Breathe out. So now I have a bit of space. I want to reach further back. So I get to roll more now. So I really reach that low back, pushing the ball away. Again, from the crown of the head, I'm going to come back up and lengthen. And let's do 3 more. Breathe out. Pull the pelvic floor. Sink and scoop the abdominals in and up, reaching that sacrum and low back to that ball. Push it away. Breathe in through the back of the head. Lift and lengthen. 2 more. And up. And last one. And up. Good. Let's take that ball even further out if you want. If not, you keep it closer to you. Okay, those who are a bit stronger, let's take it a little further out. Let's roll and barely touch it. And then roll back to starting position. Breathe out. Scoop, 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 scoop. Now I'm just tapping the ball and I'm going to roll back and come up. So I'm keeping my C shape this time when I come up. Lengthen the spine, stay long, long, long. Scoop, pull the pelvic floor, bring the sit bones together. Tap that ball. Keep the C shape. And now arms can be in front of you. Scoop, lift, round, and come back. Last 2. And scoop it up. Keep the ball closer to you if you need that support. Last 1. Push, push. Now push the ball more. Push the ball more. Push. Hold it here. Now from here, let's peel away, barely touching that ball, and hold this position. The more you peel away and you're not leaning into the ball, the harder it is. If you need more support, stay here. We're marching. So breathe out, scoop. One leg goes up and down. Breathe out, scoop and march the other leg. Shoulders nice and wide. Let's not round that shoulder. 3. Barely touching that ball. You're pulling away, but you want to still touch it. 4. Shoulders wide. Don't round to the shoulders, round to the pelvis. 5. And 6. Good. Last 2. 7. Barely touch that ball. And last one, 8. Breathe in, breathe out, scoop, come up, and rest for a second over here. Okay, nice and easy. Let's take the ball further out, and we're gonna roll. What I want is for the ball to be about between your scapulars, okay? So we're gonna roll back. If it's not between the scapulars, just adjust a little bit, and we're gonna be here. Hands gonna go behind your head, okay? And you need to support your neck. Now we're just gonna do a little bit of extension into crunches. So my elbows are wide, my shoulders are wide, my hands are interlacing. You can get your thumb in the back of your neck to support your neck even more, okay? Shoulders down away from the ears, and my elbows are radiating away from my body. I'm going to breathe in and round over that ball, and it feels amazing. On the breath out, I'm gonna pull my rib cage towards my pelvis to roll back up and crunch. Now watch closely. It is not pulling my neck. It is my rib cage that's going to bring me back. Breathe in, keep the engagement of the abdominals as much as you can as you extend over the ball. Now, from the rib cage, pull the head, the shoulders, and the chest. Ribs coming down to the hips. The head just follows. So keep the head pressing back into your hands so it doesn't shift forward. And let's go 2. Breathe in to arch. Breathe out. Pull the belly button in. Drag the ribs over the belly, pulling the belly button in. Crunch. 0 pressure or pull on that head. 3 something. Let's do 5 more. Belly goes in, ribs drag down, up and over that belly, and the head is still pressing gently back towards your hands, shoulders wide. I see some people pulling their necks. The head stays pressing back into the hand. What's pulling the head up are your rib cage and that nice crunch. Elbows nice and wide if you can. Keep your scapulas a little bit towards each other. Good. Last one. Good. Now, when we crunch, we're going to go back. We're going to add the marches for 6. So we're going to crunch and march. Come back down. Keep the abdominals engaged so there's zero pressure on your low back. You're keeping as much abdominal engagement as you can. March the other leg. And it's, again, focus on that rib. Belly in, rib pulling you up. 3. Good. I'm going to change my angle. 4. Belly sinks in. Don't pull on the neck. 5. Sink and glide. Sink the abs, glide the ribs. And 6. Nice. All right. Now we're going to crunch back up. So scoop the belly, drag the ribs. Okay. Push the back of your rib cage into the ball, the lower ribs. And we're going to rotate. Push the ball to one side. Push the ball to the other side. Now watch that your pelvis is not shifting. So anchor the pelvis, squeeze your glutes a little bit, and with the scapula and the rib cage, push away, push away. And if the pelvis is swinging with you, then you're rotating too much. Push, let's go. I'm going to start from here. 3. Scoop the belly. 4, scoop, push from the scapula and the upper rib. 5, scoop the belly, rotate. Don't let that pelvis go. Look at my elbows. They're not helping me. 5, I don't know how many. 6, keep the elbows wide. 7, pull the belly in and really drag those ribs. Crunch the highest you can. 9, crunch higher. 10, woo, I felt that. Arch over the ball and stretch. Good. Now let's try to do the same thing with the legs straight. And again, be careful. You're going to have to use your lower abdominals more to keep stability. Okay? So flex your feet, legs together if you can. Again, if this bothers your back, just continue here. Okay? Inner thighs together. And we're going to do the same thing. You're going to go up and over the ball. You're going to scoop and crunch. Really pull the abdominals in and do it through the ribs. So you should be feeling this area here working really hard. Don't pull on the neck and don't close the elbows. Give me 8 to 10. Good. Now try to keep your inner thighs zipping. That's going to help you activate that pelvic floor. And when you arch over, the abdominals are still engaged. So the more you go up and over that ball, the more work you're going to have to do. Okay, the more arching, the more you go back, the more you're going to have to come forward. If you're feeling it on your SI joint, if you're feeling it on your low back, bend the knees and continue here. I'm going to assume this is like 8-ish. And we're going to do 2 more. Shoulders wide, elbows wide. Don't pull the shoulders up. Don't let the head lead. Head is pressing gently on the back arm. Now, what we're going to do is lift one leg straight up. Watch for your back. So you're going to crunch, one leg reaches away. I have my leg pointed, so I'm really reaching. My leg is nice and active. 2, 3, 4, 2 more, 5, 6. Okay, we're going to continue. I'm going to show you. You're going to do the exact same thing, but now you're going to let go of one arm. You bring that leg higher if you can and press that leg out. So I'm pushing the leg, resisting with the other, pushing leg out, resisting with the leg in. Then I'm going to come back, arch, crunch, lift leg, push. Feel free to do it with the knee. And if your knee is here, it's gonna be the same thing. Okay? So just rotating to a bent knee. I started with a harder version, pushing leg away, resisting, just like we do on the reformer, right? When we do the marches with the press. Or this is a more advanced version, either leg straight or bent, bringing it back down. So you're giving me 8 to 10 of these. So there's a little rotation when you come up. Okay, so you're crunching, reaching, so there is a rotation. Don't forget that the rotation is going to be assisted by the scapula and the rib cage on the ball. Good. Try to give me 10. Little rotation. Good. So I'm going to assume that we have 2 more. This feels really nice. Lots of connections going on. And whenever you're ready and you're done, just round over that ball and you should feel those abs nice and worked. Okay, you're gonna crunch up and we're gonna remove the ball from the back and bring the ball between the knees. Okay? And we're gonna go through our bridges with the ball. So we're gonna do 2 types of bridges. The first one, we're gonna do our regular bridges with the ball, activating the midline of the body. And then we're gonna do a nice new bridge that's going to work the hip flexors a bit. Okay, and we're gonna go up and down, holding the ball, activating more of hip flexors. For those of you with any angry hip flexors, you don't need to use the ball. You can just march and go up and down like the ones we usually do. Other than that, ball, pillow, anything you have between the knees. Good. So feet, legs about 90 degrees, toes forward, heels in alignment with sit bones, shoulder and scapulas down, arms reaching down to your feet, tuck your chin, lengthen the back of the neck, and let's roll the pelvis halfway. Gently squeeze the ball, activate the midline of the body, pelvic floor, scoop the abdominals, squeeze the glutes, and lift. Okay, I want your ribs down. We've been doing all those crunches. Use the same force we just did to keep the ribs down. Breathe in, reach the ball away. Breathe out, use the abdominals to mobilize that spine all the way down. Okay, give me 5. Imprint. When you find that low back on the ball, squeeze, round just the pelvis. Ribs stay down so this hasn't come up. Breathe out, reaching the ball away, scoop the abdominals, and move that spine back down, 1 bone at a time to the ground. Good, keep going. Scoop, so I'm hollowing. Make sure you're not pushing the abdominals to the ceiling, you're hollowing. Press into the heels. And keep reaching the ball forward, lifting. Nice long line. Keep that spine really engaged and aligned and balanced. And use your abdominals to return. You should be finding a little bit more flexibility on that low back. Keep the scapulas down, running down your back. Good. Scoop, scoop, scoop. Nice. Watch your shoulders, Simone. Yes, don't round the shoulders. Keep the back of the scapulas pressing into the ground. Okay, let's make our move bigger. So 5 more full bridges if you're comfortable with that. Really anchor the scapula down on the ground. Breathe out, scoop. And then roll 1 bone at a time. Segment that roll, 1 at a time. Chest, scapula, arms. Press and reaching down to the toes. Moving up with the hip, with the pelvis and the tailbone, keeping the abdominals and the ribs pressing down. Reach the ball as long as you can, only neutral here. Breathe in, breathe out. From the esophagus, chest relaxes, upper ribs goes down first. This is where we need the most mobility. and then down, segmentedly returning the spine back to that neutral position. So what I want you to feel you're doing with the ball is you're pushing the ball away from the body. That's what's going to give you the lengthening and the alignment of the spine. 4 more. Breathe out. Scoop the abdominals in, press into the heel, squeezing the ball gently. Round that pelvis off the ground. The ball and the tailbone are always reaching forward. Scapula, arm, chest pressing down. All the movement coming from the pelvis, from that tailbone up, abdominals down. Find your neutral, find your length. And then from the highest rib, right where the esophagus is, just like the crunches we are doing. Oh, push that down. Keep that tailbone reaching up to the ceiling and that ball reaching forward. And roll down. Good. You should have 2 or 3 more. Depends how slow you're moving into this. Okay, you're still holding the ball. You're still activating the midline of the body. Feel everything working on both sides of the body. The longest line you can. Mobilize, feet pressing down. Okay, make sure your big toes are pressing on that mat. I'm going to assume this is going to be your last one. And I'm going to hold it up here. I'm going to wait for everybody. So up here, we're going to hold and we're going to squeeze the ball 10 times. So make your way up there. Round the pelvis, lengthen the tailbone, push the abdominals. Let's squeeze the ball. 1, 2, 3, abs and ball. Tuck your tailbone. 4, round that pelvis a little bit. 5, through the lower abdominals. 6, 7, squeeze. You should be feeling that. 8, abs working. 9, press the scapula, the arms down. Simone, your shoulders. 10, keep squeezing the ball. Now let's squeeze the pelvis. Tuck. 1, 2, 3, abs and tailbone touch. 4, keep squeezing the ball. 5, 8, not with the lower back. 9, with the lower gut. 10, hold. Breathe in, lengthen. Let's go down. 1 bone at a time. Woo! Take the ball out. You can cross the leg and stretch or just hug your knees in for a second. We have that other exciting bridge to do. So just give it a break. I totally felt my hamstrings and glutes. Very nice. We haven't had class for a while, so really feeling it. Okay, so what we're gonna do, so it's a little bit challenging, this hip flexor one, okay? Like I said, you can just march the leg and go up and down. Remember when we do one leg bridge, we're gonna go flat back up and down. You don't go down up and down as much, yeah? And try not to compensate. So the first one, I'm gonna put the ball here, and I'm going to march the leg and I'm going to squeeze it. And you should feel that your hip flexor is working. Okay? And from this position, with the other leg, we're just going to push the pelvis up and down in a straight line. We're not going to roll. We're going to scoop the belly and then press into the heel, lift 1. Okay? Keeping this, lift 2. I'm holding that ball into my body. All right? So you are going to feel extra work here for sure. Okay, so let's give it a try. Try to do anywhere between 6 to 10, and then we do the other side. So hold, march, press the ball into the torso. If you need to flex your foot, you can. Otherwise, keep it relaxed. Arms on the ground to support you. So this leg is going to be the one working, yeah, to lift. Abs tight, press, and let's go. 1, keep this ball pressing. 2, lift. Lift that pelvis up. 3, lift. My glutes on the opposite side is what's working. 4, abs tight, so you're not pushing with the low back. 5, you're pushing with that. If this is my right leg, I'm pushing with my right leg. 6, keep pressing the ball into the body. 7, 8, abs tight. 9, push into that heel that's on the ground. and 10. Bring it in. Woo, nice job. Shake off this leg, bring the ball to that other leg. We're gonna press in. So now switching sides. The heel of this leg is going to be lifting me with the glutes. Adjust the pelvis, pull the ball into the body, abs tight, and let's go for 10. Go 1. Keep the abs tight. 2. You're pushing from here, not from the low back. 3. Heel to bottom of butt. 4. Good. 5. Embrace that core and lift. 6. Press into the heels, abs tight. 7. Do it with both legs if one leg is too much. 8. 9. 10. And relax down. Take the ball out, cross the leg, and give me a stretch. I can't see you guys moving. I hope you can see me, but the image is frozen on my screen. So if you can see me, make sure you're pushing this leg and pulling. Give me 6 to 8 breaths and then switch sides. You guys did the stretches? Yes, okay. Sorry, we got disconnected. Okay. All right, good. Okay, perfect. Okay, so let's move to our sides and let's do some side ab work and leg work. All right, so we're gonna have the ball to, okay, and I'm gonna start with the abdominal work first, and then we're gonna go into the leg work. All right. So ladies, for those of you that have any pain on the hips, if you bend the bottom leg, it will help. Also add as much padding under the hip as you need if it bothers you, okay? The ball goes about rib, okay? It's gonna be around on my rib. I'm gonna keep both legs straight and my feet flexed. This is a little bit more difficult. Feel free to bend that bottom leg and just keep the top legs or both legs for the abdominal work. Now, we're gonna come up and over that ball, just like we did with the crunches, okay? So the core is gonna have to work strong for you not to be swinging side to side. My hand is gonna bend and it's gonna go on my head for support. Now, this one can stay here for support when you go crunch up and down, okay? Or it can come to your side and you need to use that core to keep you balanced over the ball. Yeah, and not to be rocking forward and back. If you're rocking, either bend the knee or use this hand. So straight body. no. I don't know why. The connection is bad today. Sorry. All right. So let's go into those side planks. Trying to call it. Magda, mãe, abre um pouco a janela aí em cima, porque minha conexão tá ruim aqui embaixo. Já. Okay. All right. Let's try that. So let's go. Okay. So we're going to go up and down. Oh, you're frozen again. So scoop the abdominal, tuck the pelvis. And we're going to crunch up and you're going to move from the waist. I guess I can't see you. I don't know if you guys can see me or not. Can you guys see me? I can't see you. Oh, this is so frustrating. Okay. Can you see me? If you see me, unmute yourselves and tell me.
I can sometimes see you and I can always hear you.
Okay, you can see me. All right, because you're frozen on my screen again. Anyways, let's try to do 10 of these on this side. If we get disconnected again, just do 10 on the other side until I get to the next exercise, okay? So we're gonna go. You push your rib cage into the ball to lift you. So we're moving from the waist only. Watch your neck. So keep the neck resting on this arm. So we're not lifting from the neck. You're pushing the rib into the ball to lift you, okay? Keep your hip bones stacked over each other. So go down as much as you can, up and over. And if the arm really helps you to do this, you can bring the arm up and over and then pull and bring it this way. Okay, that gives you a little bit of mobility and a little bit more challenge. Otherwise, you can keep the arm here. You can keep the arm here. You can keep the legs bent. Okay, whatever you do, the movement still happens from here. Watch the neck. It's going to stress a little bit. So rest it on your hand and use this other arm to keep the rest stable, the neck stable. Nice long body as you press the rib into the ball to lift you. Really, really pull those abdominals in. Okay, finish your 10. And because you're still frozen to me, I'm going to tell you to go to the other side. Still frozen. Okay, if you can hear me, just go ahead and do the other side. And do your 8 to 10 on the other side, the same setup, nice straight line. Hotspot. Okay, thank you, William, that you can hear me. All right, I hope everybody else can hear me too. Okay, so let's do the 10 on the other side. So this is no longer recording.
Monica, there's a message that says your network bandwidth is low.
What?
There's a message that says your network bandwidth is low.
I really don't know. Okay, it's recording. I'm trying to see if I can get if I can get you guys through hotspot.
So now I can see you and hear you fine.
You can? Okay. All right. Did you guys do on both sides?
Yes.
Okay, so let me add now the hip work to it. So go back to the first side. Okay, now I see you, Rania moved. Simone moved a little bit. Wow, this is really bad connection. I don't know what to do. Okay, now you guys are moving a little bit on my screen. Okay. All right, so let's go to the first side. Okay, you guys finally moved on the screen. It's so bad when the connection is like this. Anyways, so I'm gonna go back to the first side I showed you guys. Hopefully you've done both sides, right? Okay, so what you can do is you can stay here like this. The ball is going to support you, but if you wanna work stability of the core, you can be this hand supporting your head, and this hand here is going to give you a lot of challenge. If this is too much, just bring this hand here. Also bend that bottom knee. All these are options, okay? But the ball is supporting us up here, but it's going to give us a challenge. We're not supposed to be rocking forward and back. We're gonna go up and down 10. We're gonna do circles 10, and that's going to be the most challenging thing. Okay, so let's flex the feet and do the first one here. Now, if you wanna make it even harder, of course, first of all, let's pull the abdominals and lengthen the tailbone. Now pull the ribs in like you're doing a small crunch and feel the work on the core here and the lengthening on the back of the leg. If you want to make the work harder, you're going to peel that rib slightly away from the ball. If you want support, the rib stays on the ball. Okay, shoulders wide, elbows wide, and let's go. 1, make sure we're moving from the hip joint. Make it long. 2, the longest leg you can. Look, longer than the bottom one. 3, 4, 5, 6. Bring your legs slightly forward if you feel anything on your back. I think 8, 9, 10. Keep it up here. Scoop the belly. Tuck the tailbone. Lengthen more and pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4. Toes facing down, heels up. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring it down. Point your toes. This is much harder. Okay, so we don't have that foot as lever. Reach, reach, reach with the toes pointed. Abs tight. Lengthen the whole body. Scoop the belly, tuck your tailbone. Let's go. 1. Good. 2, 3. I wonder if you can feel that instability more. Abs in. 4. Pull the abdominals in and up. Ribs in. 5, 6. Don't move on the ball. 7, 8, 9, 10. Stay up. Let's pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ouch. 8, 9, 10. Bring it down. Rest. Good. Rest the head as well if you want to go up and over. Let me move this computer over here and see if it helps me more. All right. We're going to draw those circles. Hopefully you can still see me. All right, so I move the computer closer to the connection. Okay, so let's draw those circles. So you're gonna be here, same thing, and now you're gonna really be challenged on the stability over the ball. Scoop the belly, tuck the tailbone, lengthen, and let's go. Make your circle only as big as you don't rock and roll on this ball. Okay, so reach, abs tight, go forward, up, back. Look how far back I'm going, and down. So let's do about 5 to each direction. Breathe in to go up, forward and up. Breathe out to go back and down. 4 and 5. Lots of core. 2. Super core stability challenge. 3, 4, and 5. Ouch. And rest. Unfortunately, you're still frozen for me. Okay. Okay, so that was the same leg. We did 10 parallel, 10 pointed with pulses, and then 5 and 5 circles, right? Okay, so let's go back into our side bananas here, okay? So now what we're gonna do is you're gonna come up and also lift the leg. So we're gonna do this. If you need more support, this bottom arm stays on the ground to give you a little bit more lever, okay? It can stay here to give you lever. Otherwise, we're gonna be here or here. And the bottom leg can be bent for support. Give me 10, okay? Tuck the pelvis, find stability. This is a lot more unstable. The bottom leg, I do have my foot flexed. So it's giving me more stability. If I want it harder, then the toes are pointed and I don't have that foot support my stability anymore. Elbows reach to me. If you're gonna challenge, don't rotate, stay on this plane. So you're not reaching this way to the leg. You're staying facing the camera. 9, of course I have no idea how many, and 10. Okay, and go up and over, good. Woo. Bring the leg forward and stretch. Nice work. Good, let's go ahead and do the other side. Right, my connection is a little bit better now. Let me get you guys this way. Okay, so we're here on the other side. And let's do the leg work. So for those who were here on the first side, get back to this position. For those who had your hand in front of you or the knees bent, whatever was you had on the first side, you can do here, okay? Now, tuck the pelvis a little bit. So scoop and lift those abdominals, connect the hip up to the rib and vice versa. Little bit of rib in and feel like you're doing a crunch, okay? Lengthen the back of the body, feet are flexed, and this hand either on the floor or here. Lengthen the whole body, abs super tight, and we're gonna go for our 10. Reach away from the body, look at the difference. Reach and keep reaching. 2. So the work is right here. 3, you're not collapsing in the waist. 4, it's not coming to the ball. 5, remember to lift the rib away from the ball if you want it harder. 6, there's more work on the elbow. 7, 8, 9, squeeze the scapulas, open that chest. 10, stay here, reach away and pulse. 1, 2, toes down, heels up. 3, 4, 5, try to get your toes facing down. 7, 8, abs tight. 9, 10, bring it in. Point the toes, reach everything. Remember hips stacked. Lift abdominals, lengthen the pelvis, and let's go. 10, same thing, now less support. 2, 3, 4, come join us, Karim. 5, 6, keep your ribs lifted. 7, everything is working. You're almost floating off the ground. 8, hips stacked. 9, you should be feeding here. 10, stay, reach, pulse. 1, 2, lift those abdominals, connect with the ribs. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ouch! Okay, we got our 5 and 5 circles. Woo-hoo! That's some work. We're gonna feel those tomorrow. All right, so pull abdominals again, connect. I mean, my core is working really, really hard. You should feel the same, okay? So remember, harder, both toes pointed, little easier, the bottom foot flexed. And let's go. forward, up and back. 2. Try not to rock and roll on that ball, so you really need to be challenging that core. 4. 5. Good. Hold it and reverse it. Ooh, I'm in pain. 1. More core. Don't move. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Ouch. Okay. Okay, our last one, the side bend with the leg kick. Okay. So remember, you can not use your hand on the ground or here or hand on the ground, you choose. The bottom foot flexed, and we're gonna reach up and over to start. Breathe out, kick and lift, and down. 2. So the more helpful version will be this hand on the ground, the bottom hand on the ground. 3. Nice. 4. So that foot on the ground is really helping me. 5. 6. Try not to rotate. 7. Stay inside the toaster. Last 2. Abs lifted. 8. Oh, that was 8 twice. 9. Bonus. 10. And stretch up and over that ball. Good. You can bring the knee forward and stretch over the ball. Wow. Excellent stuff. Really good. Okay, so we're just gonna flop forward, take the ball on chest, and we're gonna go into our back extension exercises. Okay. So I have the ball on my chest. It's supporting me, so it's gonna help me do some exercises that I can. If your ball is too big, deflate it. Okay, you don't want to be all the way up here, and it's on the chest, or a little bit higher on the sternum will get you a little bit lower. Yeah, see, I have less extension here. So try to place it where you feel you can actually deal with extension. Let's start with the hands on the ground and doing baby swans here. So you're gonna round up and over that ball. Then you're gonna pull the shoulders and scapulas down. Lift the head to align with the spine. Then you're gonna push your chest forward to roll the ball away from the body, and that's going to give you extension. Okay? And then we roll back into the ball again. And then I lift my head, I lengthen it forward, and I pull my shoulders and scapulas down. The whole time my shoulders are coming down as my chest goes forward, my abs are tight, my legs are reaching, and the only thing that's mobilizing is my upper back. It's from my lower ribs up. If anybody's feeling low back, there's something wrong going on there, okay? So again, abs are tight, legs are reaching as wide as your back is comfortable. We're gonna lift the head in line with the spine. Keep pulling the shoulders and scapulas down your back as your sternum pushes that ball forward. Abs tight, shoulders, scapulas keep going down, 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 and chest moves the ball. Your upper back should be really nice and active. So Rania, you're lifting, keeping your back rounded. I need you to push the ball. The ball needs to be pushed forward with your chest. Push more and keep pulling the scapulas down as you push the ball forward. Yes, more stay up there for me. Stay up there, Rania. Good. Now pull the scapulas down. Scapulas down your back, to your butt. Squeeze the scapulas towards each other. Yes, now down to the butt. Down to your butt. Down, down. Down to the butt. That's better. Because you're coming up and you're still rounded. Look. You're still rounded. You need to be like this. You need to be here. Good. Nice, William. That looks good. Just tuck your chin in a bit more. Don't lift your head so much, William. There you go. Nice, Simone, beautiful. Relax your toes if you can, so your legs are not so, yeah, there you go. Okay, nice, nice, Tamara, really good. Okay, so let's challenge this. We're going to come up. So if your shoulders are not in a good position, it's not gonna work. Come up, pull the shoulder scapulas down, abs lift off the ground, lift your hands off the ground. And as you lift your hands up, squeeze scapulas, squeeze scapulas. I want your hands and your elbows to go past your back as much as you can. Abs are lifted. Now from here, keep your chin in, look just slightly forward, breathe out, straighten the arms forward, squeeze the scapulas, push the chest forward, and bring the elbows next to your waist. Now, it's not here. The highest you go, the higher you go, the more work this is gonna be. Try to do 8 to 10. Your abs have to be lifted. Your legs are pressing down. Your neck is lengthened. Your chest is pushing that ball forward. As the abs lift, squeeze the scapulas maximum. Keep scapulas squeezing to get your arms to go as high as you can. Tight shoulders are limited. Stay up here and do your 8 to 10. Squeeze scapulas, elbows to waist. Lift those arms and elbows with the scapula. Don't round the shoulders. The scapula is going to be holding a cherry, only a cherry. Hands in line with shoulders. Yeah, hands up, Simone. Not the elbows up. The whole thing goes up because the scapulas are squeezing. Your hands are down here. Up. Squeeze scapulas. Hands up as well. Yes. Look at the floor. Look at the floor, Danya. You're stressing your neck. Look at the floor. Don't move from the shoulders. Move from the outer arm. Squeeze those scapulas, everyone. Good, William. Good, Tamara. When you're done, make a pillow with your hand, round over that ball. All right, so I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do next. It's also a little bit challenging. Bring the ball slightly forward so you're not so extended. Abs tight, just a little bit. Now, I'm gonna have you flex your feet and lift those knees up, okay? Then I want you to drag your toes towards the knee and reach your heels back. I'm gonna have you pull the abs in and lift the arms up. Now, look at my legs. I want your legs to stay where they are. You're gonna let go of one foot and the other without changing the position of the leg. So watch your back, because if you're not pulling the abdominals in, it's gonna come towards your low back. The reason I wanted you to bring your ball forward is that I don't want you to be too extended, okay? I want the ball more forward to support your body weight, but just, it's on the upper chest now. So keep your hands off the ground or on the ground. Keep it on the ground if you need first. Now, toes glide towards the ball, towards your knees, and heels are reaching to the back room. Okay, really pull that heel, toes in and heels out. Now lift your abdominals off the ground, and with the leg closest to the camera, don't move the position of the leg, just point the toe. Now lift the abdominals again, point the other toe. And if you can, lift the arms off the ground. Keep reaching the legs like we were. Bring the toes back in, hands down, rest the knees down. If this is too much, take the ball out and do it on the ground. Make a pillow with your hand, and you can do it here. Okay? You can do it here. With the ball is harder because you're already extended. Nice. So do about 6 sets of these if you can. Come down and rest, go back up. Okay, the trick is toes towards the knee, heels away from the body to the back wall. Abs lifted. And then try to do both legs at a time. That's much more challenging. And then squeeze the scapulas and lift the arms. If you want to try to reach the arm forward and bring it back. And then everything rests down, you can. All these are just challenges. And then to curl the toes, pull in, heels out, lift the abdominals, keep the legs lifted, pull the kneecaps up to your pelvis. Kneecaps all the way up to the hip bones, heels away from the body, then reach, elbows, reach the arms like Superman. Bring it back and rest. My quads are cramping from this. All right, so finish it up with one or two more. This is the last thing we're gonna do. Reach those heels, shoulders away from the ears, scapulas down, lift the belly off the ground, lift the toes and the arms, reach the arms away from the body, bring everything back, rest. When you're done with all of these, you can either rest over the ball or just toes together, knees apart, stretch back. Good. Push your bum towards your heels first and then come down. If you want to stretch with the ball, if you don't want to go as low, you can keep the ball here and just let the chest fall down. More of a stretch. Hands on the ground is fine too. And if you don't want to bend your knees as much, you sit on the ball. So it gives space on your knees, okay? And you can stretch here. If you cannot bend the knee as much. Good. And roll yourself up. Let's do a quick pigeon stretch because we worked our hips a lot. All right, so leg bent at any angle that's comfortable for you. Good. Foot flexed. Adjust the pelvis in alignment. Good. And then from here, you can really lift yourself and stretch the hip flexor of this leg. And when you feel you have that stretch, you can come down. Nice. And give 5 breaths. I'll try to do about 30 seconds. Relaxed breaths, no pressure on the breathing. Ten more seconds. All right. If you're ready to switch, come up. Remember, you can always do the number 4, okay? So if this doesn't work for you, just come into your number 4 position and stretch here. This is totally fine. You can stretch here. You can stretch sitting up. Nice. Find that lengthening on the back leg if you need to. Opening up the back hip. And then calm down. And do your 5 relaxed breaths here. Keep stretching. I'm just going to stop the recording. Bye, those doing recording.